When time steals our years away, shall steal our pleasures too. The memory of the past will stay, and half our joys renew.
Hello and welcome to Irregular Odes on Facebook and YouTube. That's right, here's our new Facebook page. Make sure you like, share and subscribe. This video is made up of two documents. The first is an article in the New Gay newspaper on gay marriage that kick-started the same-sex marriage campaign. And the second is a reworked version of the Voodoo Charms video that was in the LGBT Film Festival in 2007 and that was filmed at the marriage chapel of the Black Swan at Perth Pride Fair Day, which was the first public campaign for equal marriage in Australia. I hope you enjoy these videos.
When we find a family, by chance not birth, we find a sister we never knew, the blessed sisters of OPI Perth.
I managed to find the original article that kick-started the marriage equality campaign in Perth. This was an article that was published by the Order of Perpetual Indulgence in 2006. So 1 + 1 does not equal 0. GLBTIQ people should have the civil right to be married in all sense of the word to the person of their choice. The notion that allowing GLBTIQ to marry will somehow compromise the sanctity of marriage has as much sense as the world believing the earth is a globe. Not allowing LGBT people to marry is a nonsense that must be spoken against. 1 + 1 does not equal 0. Equality under law for GLBTIQ people is not about special rights. The term special rights is a tool of language coined by those that oppose universal human rights. It's also an abusive term used in the HIV community by representatives who wish to denigrate and downgrade their constituents. The sky will not fall down on our heads if marriage and other basic human rights are extended to GLBTIQ people. Denying marriage rights to GLBTIQ people functions to oppress the growth and empowerment of community. Lack of community disenfranchises, disconnects and destroys individuals with an insidious creeping movement. Self-serving politicians have the denial of marriage as a tool to divide and conquer that has much more to do with silencing voices of dissent. Marginalisation is a harmful cultural practice that is used to remove the challenge of the other and serves to concentrate power in hands that have grown used to possession without sharing. This marginalisation of individuals serves to continue to define the LGBTQ community as other. The voice of the other is always spoken from outside, and as such is able to be ignored by the dominant heteronormative hierarchies. Those that oppose rights for GLBTIQ people are attempting an intervention to prevent the evolution of civilization. The cost is that social justice, human rights, equal opportunity and freedom itself are undermined by the quest to retain the status quo. The payoff for the self-serving parasites that run our society is that they are able to keep society static, unmoving, compliant. Politicians need to be reminded that the numbers game of staying in power should not trample over community. A human right extended to one part of the community should be available to all members of society. Nation-states need to be reminded that heterosexuality is just one form of sexuality and might does not always mean right. Marriage should not be restricted only to heterosexuals or those claiming to be straight, but should be a civil right available to all citizens. I've changed some of the language from the original because it seemed the right thing to do given the updated circumstances we find ourselves in.
When we find a family, by chance not birth, we find a sister we never knew, the blessed sisters of OPI Perth.
It is my great pleasure to be able to provide a foreword to the new edition of the Voodoo Charms video. This video was first made in 2007 and it focused on the marriage chapel of the Black Swan at Perth Pride Fair Day. It was the first campaign in all of Australia for equal marriage, so it was a big first for Western Australia. There were some problems with the file, so I've made some changes. Those changes include a new introduction paragraph in which I've re-spoken the existing words that were already there. So there's no changes to the content, it's just a change to the voice. New music. The music that was in the original edition had a copyright issue, so that had to be changed out. I've updated the credits. I'd like to thank Sister Slash of the Holy Gay Porn for their work fixing the music. It was a great job and it helped me out immensely. Stripping out the old music. We've got some new music from remusic.ai. So it's AI generated music, just to let you know. I've also used some of Fag Media's images from Fair Day in 2006. I believe those have made a great difference to the look and feel of the original footage. The original footage was shown at the Perth LGBT Film Festival in 2007, and it was as a result of the publicity that came from this campaign that the national LGBT leadership community decided that gay marriage was the next hot ticket in town. There are some visual problems with the footage. We've left in the footage of the Fair Day, even though it is a bit grainy. There's nothing that can be done about that. The copy I was given to work with was not HD. Very well, we are proud to present, for your edification, Voodoo Charms.
When we find a family, by chance not birth, we find a sister we never knew, the Blessed Sisters of OPI Perth.
In 1989 in Western Australia, homosexuality was decriminalised, with the result that many people were unhappy. Many argue that the subsequent law reform amendment program process would have been easier without the inadequate first steps.
While the reforms were comprehensive, they still weren't complete, and there are still missing parts of that puzzle that need to be fixed.
When we find a family, by chance not birth, we find a sister we never knew, the Blessed Sisters of OPI Perth. Working together, kin to kin, we can show our worth. Sharing the work of our hearts, the Blessed Sisters of OPI Perth.
Gay marriage. Do we really want it? What's it all about? Is it gay marriage or civil unions? Are we looking for special rights, or is it just equality and equal rights? It's not about special rights as some would have us believe, but about human rights and equality. In WA, while there has been significant changes in law reform for lesbian and gay people, gay and lesbian people do not experience full equality. A deficit in terms of rights regarding marriage and relationships recognition still exists. Many gay and lesbian people want their relationships to be recognised in a tangible way and recognised by the state.
We find a sister we never knew, the Blessed Sisters of OPI Perth.
Rights come with responsibilities. If I want my human rights, then I have to support your human rights. When we start being selective about whose rights to support, then ultimately we're opening up the door for human rights abuses to occur.
We know that more and more Australians are coming to the view that their GLBTI neighbours deserve the same rights as they do. In fact, most of the studies that we know about, and polls that we know about, show that married people, most of all, support same-sex couples and other, currently non-heterosexual couples getting married.
In Western Australia, a movement for gay, lesbian, bisexual, trans, intersex and queer relationship recognition is in its infancy. The Order of Perpetual Indulgence was the first to publicly advocate for law reform and conducted research in the community at Perth's Pride Fair Day.
Hello, support gay marriages.
You want a pen to stick into John Howard?
You can fill it out and take it with you. It's up to you.
Where do I put it?
Oh,
Just in the chapel.
Inside, in the chapel. And I'll light up some incense sticks.
The Order of Perpetual Indulgence of the Great Southern Land is part of a worldwide order. They seek to assist GLBTIQ people to experience the universal joy of lives lived free from stigmatic guilt. This is the guilt we feel for being ourselves. The Order actively works to support all aspects of the GLBTIQ community. They educate to assist in the prevention of HIV and actively support people living with HIV/AIDS. The Order seeks to remove barriers to participation and the effects of harmful cultural practices such as bullying and discrimination.
We're gathered here on the side of the Holy Bitch Mother Dingo and the Black Swan to marry these two for 30 days during Pride. Now, if there should be any doubt why you should not marry, please speak now. Now, Amy? Sorry. Rachel, is there anything you wish to say to Lily?
I've loved you for a long time, and I will love you for a long time coming. In however ways, whatever falls, I love you.
Lily, is there anything you wish to say to Rachel?
Love you.
Do you swear that you will have 30 days of copulating together?
Oh, I swear.
Do you swear that you'll have 30 days of universal joy together?
Oh, swear. Totally swear.
Do you swear to have 30 days of pride partying together?
Oh, I swear. I swear. Hallelujah, I swear.
You have now acknowledged your 30 days of love for each other. For the next 30 days, may your lives be full of love and universal joy. In the name of the Holy Bitch Mother Dingo and the Black Swan, I now pronounce you married. Yay! So ring our bells, ring our bells, ring our bells.
Ring a bell. Yay!
In the heterosexual community, it's a rite of passage, it's joining that exclusive little club. And then once you're part of it, you have all these little things that are open to you which we can't access, and you're accepted into that institution, whether it's religious or not, that you've taken that leap and that you've committed to someone else. When we create a model that will embrace alternative relationships that will be recognised, then there'll be a lot more of a solid and a cohesive community, because everyone will be on an equal plane in some form.
In Australia, the ruling Liberal Coalition and ALP combine forces to enshrine heterosexuality as an essential prerequisite for participation in marriage. Currently, the structures of Australian society recognise and gives privilege to only one form of love, and that's heterosexual.
Think of all the people that are being affected and, just affected by not being able to love the ones they love and have it recognised. That's the thing, is having it recognised, the legalities of it.
At a state level, we've achieved many of the law reforms that a state government can give us, but unfortunately the federal government has done nothing for same-sex couples.
Marriage is the domain of the federal government, and civil unions is a form that could be implemented by state groups. Some people call it marriage, some people call it civil unions. Each of those positions reflect a different kind of approach. Some want to focus on a full national marriage model, and others wish to focus on state-based civil union models. Some would say this has more chance of getting through Parliament, and that's why we should enact that.
Underpinning this is the notion that something is better than nothing. However, others regard this as a selling out and would prefer to see a broad community-based consultation process to develop a model that takes into account the needs of all people. The civil unions model, which is a state-based model, is theoretically easier to achieve. However, the WA ALP government does not show any evidence of supporting this model. The results of the OPI survey demonstrated overwhelming support for broad community-based consultation, which proves that we don't want another backroom deal.
This time, shouldn't GLBTIQ people take the time to build our relationship model on the rock of solid community consultation?
We can show our worth, sharing the work of our hearts, the blessed sisters of OPI Perth. When we find a family by chance, not birth, we find a sister we never knew, the blessed sisters of OPI Perth. Working together, kin to kin, we can show our worth, sharing the work of our hearts, the blessed sisters of OPI Perth. When we find a family by chance, not birth, we find a sister we never knew, the blessed sisters of OPI Perth. Working together, kin to kin, we can show our worth, sharing the work of our hearts, the blessed sisters of OPI Perth. The blessed sisters of OPI Perth. The blessed sisters of OPI Perth.
When we find a family by chance, not birth, we find a sister we never knew, the blessed sisters of OPI Perth. When we find a family by chance, not birth, we find a sister we never knew, the blessed sisters of OPI Perth. When we find a family by chance, not birth, we find a sister we never knew, the blessed sisters of OPI Perth.
Well, I hope you enjoyed those two videos. I think they're very important to have in the public domain because they were a real historical moment. It's important to acknowledge that the campaign started out and was maintained as a grassroots initiative. It later might have been hijacked by elites and their backroom deals, but it started out with good intentions from the grassroots. Alright, please like, share, subscribe and comment. If you want to see more about the sisters, then go to Abbey of the Black Swan on Rumble, or the addresses are inside the video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.
When time steals our years away, shall steal our pleasures too. The memory of the past will stay, and half our joys renew.